Today, I am happy to say that I am a single man with no children and with a great career as an electrician residential wireman. I am also an adjunct instructor for a local junior college here. I do well for myself, and I am so glad I dodged this bullet. I almost made the biggest mistake of my life. I thought I struck gold when I met my ex beautiful, smart, and fun to be around. We officially met while I was on another date in June of 2021. Right when things were slowly opening up in my state after the pandemic. I wasn't laid off from my position, but after work during that time, there was nothing to do but go home and stay inside. We had rules set up in our office where only so many people could be in at once. We'd have to schedule when one of us was coming in to grab equipment. No more pairing up for jobs as far as commuting. Thus, riding solo, sometimes two different cities. I got pretty lonely. After going home one night, I decided to download Tinder. I initially just wanted someone to talk to, I swear. I never had any intentions on hooking up or anything. I really was just bored and was missing talking with people. I met a lot of women there, and some of them were married. They'd say that they were separated from their husbands, and some even said their husbands were okay with it. Sort of like the open relationship thing. I never spoke with those women for long periods. But my ex and another woman I spoke to often, to the point where I went out on a date with one, and ironically, my ex was working at restaurant we went to. I had no idea she worked there as she told me that she was a caretaker, which she was, but apparently she was working as a waitress for some extra money then. She quit once we started dating, but it's still funny how this all played out. Anyway, while I'm on a date with another woman I was talking to while talking to my ex, all his friends trying to get to know each other, my ex, and I noticed each other when she was coming towards our table. She wasn't our waiter, but she was for the table behind us. We saw each other, smiled, said hey, and that was it. Later that night, my ex texted me and said she was cute, but I looked much better. Not going to lie, she was telling the truth. After that incident, my now ex, her text messages and calls became more frequent. Before, she would be so timey with texting, meaning we'd be consistently texting for a week, then she'd disappear for a week. But after that night, she was hitting me up every day just to make sure I was not talking to anyone else. We ended up dating for about 7 months before we both decided to be exclusive. We clicked very well. I was pleasantly surprised because I never intended on getting serious with someone from Tinder. Anyway, we did, and in October of 2022, I proposed to her. Stupidly, I thought she was worth it. Our families loved each other. She wanted kids and a family like myself. We both had our own leases apartments, and the plan was to move in together once our leases were up. Mine August and hers October in 2023. She made sure to tell me over and over again that I am not to have any dancers at my bachelor party. She said this to my brother as well, who was my best man, and he'd laugh and say, "Okay, sure, you got it." I knew what that meant, but after talking to my brother, I told him not to. I did that for her. So at my bachelor party, there were no dancers. We had a Madden tournament, ate junk food, and drank alcohol. She was not to have any dancers as well. She told me she wouldn't because she thinks it's disgusting, and her maid of honor said there 100% will not be any dancers. I truly believe all they did was watch a movie and drank wine. That's exactly what my ex told me happened after I asked her if she enjoyed her party when we spoke that night. Little did I know the woman I was about to marry did the nasty with multiple dancers that night in her apartment screaming why wello. I saw the video and it hurt my soul. To even think I got it in with this woman, all after some big buff guys had their way with her, is so freaking disgusting. And she did not even use protection with any of those guys. I saw the whole darn thing. So we got married in March of this year, and everyone was happy and had a great time. We headed for our flight the next morning to Puerto Rico for our honeymoon. We were to spend a week out there, but I didn't make it past one night after what I discovered about my ex. That night we were drinking heavily and started doing what newlyweds do. Afterwards, she got a call from her sister and asked if she could send a particular wedding video that the sister took on my ex's phone. My ex was going through her gallery and she giggled and said, "One night to remember." I heard her and I could see clearly because she was laying right below me in the bed and between my legs. She thought I was asleep, but I wasn't. So I saw a large Johnson behind the play button of her phone. She had some video of some huge guy in there. I didn't say anything and she scrolled back up and sent the video her sister was asking for. I pretended I didn't see anything and acted like I was still asleep. My plan was to go through her phone to see what that was about. Yes, it could have been just some P-Hub stuff she had in there, but I had a gut feeling it was something I needed to see. Now, I've always known her passcode because she gave it to me before when I needed to do something on her phone, and luckily she never changed it. I stayed up until 3 a.m. that night. Already exhausted, but I needed to get into that phone. She was knocked out cold and I went for the phone, and sure enough it was the same passcode. I went straight into her gallery and looked at her videos. The date of her bachelorette parties was filled with events that went down at the party. I took the phone outside to the balcony and shut the door and I started watching. Johnson swinging, kissing, slapping, everything. My wife not only was giving blows to guys, but in multiple videos these dancers were having their way with her, along with other women, and the ladies are just cheering it on. My ex was screaming out "Wywello" and doing all kinds of disgusting things. I wanted to puke. I tossed the phone on the bed. She was still asleep. I grabbed my things and I left. I still had some hair soap and things like that in the bathroom, but I didn't care. I just got my clothes, phone, and I left. I paid a reschedule fee to get the returning flight that day. The flight was not until noon, so I sat at the airport just thinking about how disgusting I was. My only thoughts were to get checked for diseases and divorce her. She texted me asking if I was grabbing breakfast or something around 10 a.m. I texted her back with, "You are disgusting. I saw the video of you at your bachelorette party. What are you thinking? You cheated on me with 3 different guys, then came home and slept with me. What the F is wrong with you? We are getting a divorce. I can't believe I married you." She replied that that was not her in the videos doing that stuff. This gaslighting ticked me off. I clearly saw my ex sucking and taking it from a group of guys. I said, "F you. I saw the videos. We are done. I'm going home." She responded with, "Babe, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. They must have put something in my drink because I don't remember doing that. Why would I record this?" Now, I'm not going to lie, when I read that text I wanted to believe it. Maybe they did take advantage of her. Oh my gosh, that's possible. Then I remembered when she said, "What a night to remember," with the giggle. I told her I'm not stupid, and the fact that she tried to lie to me knowing I'm telling the truth ticks me off the more. Told her we are done. When I got back home, the first thing was to get tested. I didn't even schedule with my primary care. I went to urgent care and again followed up with my main doctor. I was clean. Thank God. I was so worried. By the way, I'm just now getting divorced. As I'm writing this, it's August 1st. Now I'm finally divorced. It took 4 months to get her out of my life. I have to tell you what transpired during that whole time, and it was a freaking roller coaster. In April, she was served at her place. That same day, she showed up at my place and assaulted me. She spat in my face, scratched my face while calling me the biggest piece of crap on earth, and that she was going to sue me for wasting her time. Yeah, she threatened to sue me for wasting her precious time, and said I was going to jail after leaving her stranded like that. I don't know how she managed to get home. My guess is that she bought another flight. So I called the police after that scratch. She indeed was arrested, not only for assaulting me, but resisting arrest and assaulting an officer. She spat at the officer, and it landed on his shirt. This was why the divorce took so long. It could have been over quicker. The divorce was held up because of her hearings and all of which she was dealing with regarding the assault. Once she was sentenced, I was able to get the divorce finalized and she signed what she needed to with no issue. She is currently serving 8 months in jail. She was facing 2 to 5 years. Talk about karma. You lied to me, cheated on me at your bachelorette party, threatened to sue me after I filed for divorce, assaulted me. Now look at you behind bars. Sweet karma. I love it. My whole thought when I left her in Puerto Rico was to get the marriage annulled. According to several lawyers I spoke with, including the woman I hired, cheating is not grounds for an annulment. She would have had to commit some type of fraud or lies about her identity and some other stuff that was said. I just wanted out as quickly as possible. But she went to jail with several charges pinned on her. I've had my apartment door kicked in by her family members. My tires have been flattened and passenger door kicked in. The cousin who kicked in my apartment door, I believe, kicked in my car door as well. He is nowhere to be found, but I have filed a police report. Man, I was scared for my life. I don't own a firearm. My brother is currently helping me get one now. I never ever intended on owning a weapon, but after that night I wanted one. I'm taking classes as I've never touched or seen a firearm in real life. Her cousin has a warrant out for his arrest and is already a convicted felon. He didn't hit me, but he got in my face and grabbed me by the collar. Are you familiar with the wrestler Amos? He's Nigerian. Not her actual cousin, but looks and built exactly like him. The dude is huge. If he wasn't a criminal, he could have easily been a professional athlete. Her parents have threatened me. It's been a disaster. I just wish this crap will all go away. This woman's family is crazy. Yes, I'm ecstatic that her butt is in jail, but I'm still dealing with the consequences of marrying a whore. Guys, it just isn't worth it. Don't be like me. I'm currently in talks with a cousin about moving to Oregon. My lease is up at the end of August. I've already told the office here that I will not be renewing. It's either go stay with my family until I find something else or move to Oregon, at least for a year or two. My cousin is also in the same line of work as me and can at least get me a job with his company as a wireman. I enjoy teaching too, so if I do leave, I'll see about picking up another adjunct job as well. But young men, take my story and learn from it, please. I divorced the woman and now look, I'm still dealing with this crap. Thank you for